Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Minsan ba naiisip din ninyo, itong mga desisyon sa iba't ibang mga immigration applications, confusing sila minsan. Bakit? Well, there are days na you agree with a certain refusal or approval of an application. Meron namang mga araw na parang mapapaisip ka kung bakit? Bakit in-approve yun? Eh clearly, meron namang violation. Akala ko ba kapag ganyan, ma-deny ka, bakit siya na-approve? So anyway, minsan parang may inconsistency, ano? But then, I guess, ganun lang talaga ang buhay. In this case, may ganyan akong parang sentimiento nung nabasa ko tong federal court decision na ito. This involves a kababayan, galing po siyang Pilipinas, who entered Canada as a visitor. So clearly, wala po siyang authority to work. And yet, nakahanap siya ng employer. Okay, nagtrabaho siya for so many years as a caregiver. Tapos, nag-apply for PR. Ang grounds niya, HNC, Humanitarian and Compassionate Grounds. You would think na malabo sigurong malabong ma-approve siguro ang kanyang PR application for HNC. Number one, dahil, di ba sabi nila, napakababa ng approval rate for HNC. Sobrang konti lang, parang less than 5% lang ng lahat daw ng HNC applications ang nagiging PR talaga. Pangalawa, malabo siguro to kasi dumating siya dito as a visitor. Talagang knowingly, no? Meron siyang intensyong to work illegally from the beginning. I think that's a fair assumption, right? Pero that is not the case in this federal court decision. Ang nangyari po dito, so nag-apply siya for PR, nirefuse ng IRCC ang kanyang application, pero nang dinala niya ito sa korte, kinatigan siya ni judge. In short, sinantabi yung refusal sa kanya ng IRCC, and now she has another chance to fight for her PR dahil ngayon ipapa-assess kumbaga sa ibang officer ang kanyang application. Okay? O sige, puntahan na po natin ang kanyang storya. Siguro ang learning ko dito guys, decisions are really not that simple. Diba? There are really many factors to consider. In this case, para kay Judge, ang naging malaking factor sa kanya kasi, yung abuse na pinagdaanan ni caregiver with one of her employers. Kumbaga, dyan papasok yung HNC kasi nga humanitarian and compassionate grounds. That's what I'm thinking, no? Okay. So, 2022 pa actually itong decision na ito. Yan. So, ayun po nakasulat, she's a citizen of the Philippines. And kine-question niya yung pag-refuse ng kanyang PR application within Canada on humanitarian and compassionate grounds. Dumating po siya nung Canada July 2014 on a visitor visa. Valid po ang kanyang visitor status until March 2015. So more or less about a year. Actually, less than a year. Despite not having a work permit, nakahanap po siya ng trabaho bilang isang caregiver in Vancouver. Sometime later, lumipat din po siya sa Toronto, where she joined an agency and worked as a live-in caregiver for elderly clients. In fairness kay ate, nag-attempt naman daw po siya to gain a work permit, sabi dito, through another agency. Yun nga lang, hindi naging successful ang kanyang application. She has remained in this country. Yan it's clear here. She has remained in this country without status, working as a caregiver ever since. Again, 2014, dumating, di ba? 2016, she started working as a live-in caregiver for a family that treated her poorly. Ito po yung mga pang-aabuso na kanyang naranasan, Withholding of wages. Wala rin daw vacation pay. Working overtime without pay. And, naku, ito matindi rin, receiving only 6 days off over a period of 14 months. Matindi, mahigit isang taon, 6 na araw lang ang day off. Nung siya ay nagsalita sa kanyang amo tungkol sa kanyang working conditions, she was threatened with deportation. On one occasion pa nga daw, kinonfiscate, kinuha ang kanyang passport para hindi siya makaalis doon sa bahay. Ito po talaga isang risk ng mga out of status na magtatrabaho. This is a very common situation. They always feel threatened. Hindi sila makapagreklamo no, sa kanilang mga amo dahil lagi silang tinatakot na ipapadeport sila ng kanilang amo. Let's put it out there. No employer can have anybody deported. Only the government can order such. Okay, moving forward. Ang sabi rin ni applicant, niloko din daw siya ng pamilya na kanyang pinagtatrabahuan. Dahil, kasi daw pinangakuan siya, natutulungan siya ng pamilya mag-apply ng PR through the live-in caregivers program before. Sinabihan daw siya that they had applied for her to obtain status through the live-in caregiver program, but this turned out not to be true. She says the family suggested she obtained, ang sinuggest pa raw sa kanya ng pamilya, kumuha ka ng peking papeles sa Pilipinas para makapagtrabaho ka dito. Ano kayang papeles ang sinasabi nito? So, ang nangyari, dahil nga doon sa kanyang pinagdadaanan, umalis siya doon sa kanyang amo sometime in September 2017, losing both her home and her sole source of income. And get this, guys, no? Kinasuhan niya yung kanyang amo, even if wala po siyang work authorization for the abuses that she went through. She submitted a claim against her employer under the Ontario Employment Standards Act. And, guys, again, wala po tong authority to work. Nanalo siya. Okay? Nagkaroon ng settlement and she was compensated. See, guys, no? Even out of status workers, in a way, meron pa rin silang laban sa mga abusadong employers dito. Now, moving forward, after that unpleasant experience, nakahanap po siya muli ng isa pang employer. And this time, mukhang maganda naman po ang naging pagtrato sa kanya. Okay? 2017, she found work as a live-in caregiver for her employer's mother. At hanggang ngayon, no? Well, at least as of this decision, which again was in 2022, she continues to be employed in this capacity, and her current employer provided a highly complimentary reference for the worker. O, diba? And then, noong 2018, nagsabit na po siya ng PR application, HNC nga po. Ang sabi niya sa kanyang application, ito, no? She had spent more than 6 years in Canada, had become integrated into the community through her participation in a church and also a volunteer sa isang caregivers group. And she also obtained a diploma as a PSW along the way. Idiniin din po niya doon sa kanyang application na meron siyang sinusustentohang pamilya sa Pilipinas. Ito, she sends remittances to ensure na kanyang naaalagaan yung kanyang aging mother who suffers from diabetes and a number of other ailments. And also, siya po ay nagpapadala rin daw ng pera sa kanyang pamangkin. Hindi pala pamangkin, parang apo na ito, no? Sabi niya, financial assistance to enable her niece's young daughter to attend school. Kawawa naman kasi daw yung bata inabandona nung kanyang pamangkin. Wow, okay. So, yan po yung main story sa kanyang HNC application. Puntahan po natin yung sa IRCC officer decision na nag-refuse, no, sa kanyang PR application. In-acknowledge daw ni officer na meron naman siyang strong record of employment at nakapag-develop siya ng network dito, social network, and also upgraded her employment skills. Pero ito na nga, ito yung inaasahan kong malaking factor. Sabi dito, however, the officer assigned considerable negative weight to the fact that she had lived and worked in Canada without status. Yan din yung nasa isip ko, no? Parang malabo sigurong aprubahan nito. Kasi sinumulat sa poll, alam niya, di ba? Alam niya na siya ay pumasok dito para magtrabaho ng walang permit. Because of that and other reasons, ni-refuse ng IRCC ang kanyang application. Isa pa sa mga factors na sinabi ni officer, naniniwala daw si officer na kahit bumalik sa Pilipinas, itong si applicant, makakahanap naman daw muli ito ng trabaho. Yan ang paniniwala ni officer. Kahit na sinabi ni applicant actually na baka mahirapan siyang makahanap ng trabaho sa Pilipinas dahil sa kanyang edad. Sabi ni officer, hindi, she would likely be able to find a job due to her friendly disposition and her previous employment in Hong Kong, UAE, and Canada. Siguro the officer is trying to say, nakahanap nga siya ng trabaho in all these places. Why not back in the Philippines? Meron pang sinasabi si officer dito, tungkol dun sa anak ng pamangkin na maaari din naman sigurong tumulong daw yung mga kapatid ni applicant sa Pilipinas na sustentuhan yung bata, yung anak ng kanilang pamangkin. Okay? So those are the reasons why her HNC application was refused. O ngayon, punta tayo sa desisyon ng Federal Court. May dalawang main points si Judge for siding with the applicant. Ang sabi ni Judge, dapat daw mas binigyang halaga din ni officer yung mistreatment na pinagdaanan ni applicant sa kanyang employer. I would assume that is where being compassionate comes in, di ba? Kasi this is an HNC application. Sabi ni Judge dito, her mistreatment at the hands of her employers in Canada and elsewhere formed an integral part of her request for relief on HNC grounds. It was therefore an error for the officer not to consider this important aspect of her history in assessing whether circumstances would excite in a reasonable person in a civilized community a desire to relieve misfortune. Pangalawang point ni Judge, yung sinasabing sustento para dun sa pamilya sa Pilipinas. Sabi ni Judge, the officer, in saying na kaya naman sigurong sustentuhan ng mga kapatid ni applicant yung bata, makakahanap naman ng trabaho agad si caregiver kahit umuwi siya ng Pilipinas. Ang sabi ni Judge, speculation yan. Ayan o, itong hina-highlight ko. Speculation. Sabi dito, the officer speculated that the siblings would be able to help support her mother financially despite the absence of any evidence to this effect. Similarly, the officer also speculated that the siblings would be able to provide her with emotional and financial support while she re-established herself in the Philippines, again, without evidence. Ang meron lang daw ebidensya, si officer according to Judge, is that the applicant is the sole provider of financial support to meet her mother's medical needs and ensure the education of her niece's daughter. An officer must not draw conclusions that are not grounded in a reasonable evaluation of the evidence. Alright, so that is it. What do you guys think about this decision, ano? Let me stress, ang nangyari po dito sa decision ay ipinasa lang sa bagong IRCC officer yung application. Bubuksan muli yung kanyang file. We are not saying na granted ang kanyang PR, hindi. Okay, and take note, 2022 po ang Federal Court decision nito. Right now, wala po tayong impormasyon kung ano na nangyari dyan. Ano? Kung muli, pwedeng muling i-refuse, o pwede namang i-approve. We don't know that yet. Let me know what you guys think about this story. Ano ang learnings ninyo dito? I'll end this episode here. See you guys in the next one. Bye!